Hello and welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to give you a brief recap of Good Witch Season 7, Episode 2, The Shell. Okay, so at the end of Episode 1, George reveals that it was time for them to have a conversation, right? So now here we are into Episode 2. Now George, he reveals himself and he's the one that delivered the pouches of dirt. Basically, he left them wondering for 2 months, like, what's going on? In that time, Joy had went to Vermont, and whatever happened in Vermont didn't work. Her business deal didn't work. He also talked about how he knew Laurel, that was their great-grandmother, and it really surprised them. He met her at the age of 17 when she hired him to paint the gazebo. And he's been taking care of the yard ever since. Okay. The dirt in the pouches come from the original Merriwick farm in England. So she made him promise not to give it to them until the next red hollow moon. So Joy is shocked. Laurel knew there would be 3 of them. Now, how did she know that? For him to have 3 pouches to give to each person, she knew it was going to be 3 women that was going to come together and try to figure out the next journey and figuring out where this dirt, what's the whole, what's the whole significance of this dirt. Now, if Cassie didn't know what was going on, I'm wondering if George had some type of shield over him, because Cassie is really good at picking up things and sensing things, but she never sensed that George was the one that put the pouches out. So I think in a way they all was blocked from knowing. I don't know. It just seems that way. So, okay, so that happened. Now, Donovan and Abigail, he comes over and he offers a coffee and donut. He apologized that he didn't tell his mother, about their long engagement. And for the most part, they seem to be on the same page, okay? Donovan is happy. Daniel, the golden boy, isn't home for the engagement. Basically, he lost his job. That's why he's home. He lost his job. But my thing is this. With the Donovan boys, Dottie was the cause of them having a ruined relationship. Because anytime you sit at the table and you talk about who had the best day ever, who had the best day, like, that's going to cause some type of friction because they're always going to try to outdo each other. So really, Dottie started this whole beef and competition between the 2 brothers. But I'm glad they straightened it out, and now they back to loving brothers and, siblings, as they should be. Oh, so, Martha ran over Sam's golf clubs on her way, to talk about the unknown movie night thing. When Sam returns with his broken clubs covered in grease, Sam inspires grease night. Isn't that something? Martha always comes in and she always got something going on, honey. She is dramatic to the max. Martha is the mayor and she is dramatic. And she comes in and he brings his golf clubs in and he was broke. And he said it's covered in grease. And she said, that's it. That's it. We're going to have a 50s night and the movie is going to be grease. Grease is the word. I like Martha though. It took me a while to like her because in the beginning I couldn't stand her or Abigail. But it took me a while to like her and Abigail. So Eileen has popped up on Adam, okay? And it seems like they're not really that close as I thought they would be. He likes her, they go on the missions together, but he still has heart for Stephanie. But the way he left and everything, and then he comes back, and Stephanie knew that he, kind of like he was seeing someone because of his actions. And it's like, you don't do that to a person. It's like, I don't know, Adam is really making me pissed off. This he's not looking good this season. I hope by the end of the season, by the end of the last episode that's gonna come, I hope he get himself together. Because what he did to Stephanie was kind of like she waited for him, you know, and he go and do this. So so Eileen comes into the Stephanie's coffee shop to get coffee or whatever. And I think Eileen helped her with something. And she said, oh, the coffee is in the house. So they start talking. And Stephanie recognized a bracelet. And she knew Adam had gave it to her. So she started talking. And he was like, yeah, you know, I don't want to make things awkward and everything. So basically, Stephanie let her know she knew Adam and she's Stephanie. Okay. So basically, that's what happened. Oh, boy. I really am liking these episodes. I really am. I really am liking these episodes. Like I said, this is a really fun and family-friendly series. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So, things didn't work out between Eileen and Adam as she thought they would. So, she decided to go back to the original plan and they'll see each other on the plane. I really do think that Eileen liked Adam more than he liked her. Okay. So Joy created a dating profile for Stephanie and she doesn't like it. You know, she's not looking into finding a guy that way. And I don't blame her. There's lunatics out here. You can't be doing that. So Martha, of course, here come Martha. And Martha shares that her and Tom met by researching for some rocket man in the record store. And they've been married for 31 years. So, of course, you know, Stephanie's going to cater movie night. Sam, he hires a new doctor, a new surgeon named Dr. Monica McBride, and she's Grant's girlfriend, okay? So, Sam is glad that he didn't know that he had a relationship, you know, which is kind of good. Cassie invites him to the barbecue. They have they have a thing, both Sam and Grant, hoping to get out of it. But, of course, the women are like, nope, we're having this barbecue and it's going to be a date night. Well, the date night didn't go as planned. Well, it did. And I think she invited Monica to, let me see. No, he was going to propose to her. Yes, Grant proposed to Monica, and she wasn't happy about it, but she had her own reasons. Okay, but it later on it gets made up for. Okay, so they're having this egg race at the fair, at the event, and Joy is like worried about losing the egg race, and she's making Abigail practice. So Vince is trying to find, his biological mom. He has the phone numbers. He has an address. The phone number just connected, but he has an address. But she's not there. But he meets a young boy named Michael there, and they talk. And he's also a foster kid, and he tells him, well, I won't be here much longer. And Vincent knows what he's talking about. So he's like, well, you know what? I know how it is. And they have this connection as well, which was kind of cool. So, Cassie and Sam, they go to this island, with the boat, and Cassie sees these stones in the same shape of the dirt. And when she goes back, this happened in episode 1, but now all three of them, Abigail, Joy, and Cassie, went. And that's where the last place where Joy was, where she made that symbol, and her father and her mother was there, and her father gave her a seashell, and it had something on it, and she found that seashell there. So they still trying to find out this mystery, like what is going on. I don't know. It's like a circle, and it looked like a tree from the root grew out. The tree grew out from the root, and the branches are out. So I don't know what that means, and for some reason they can't even figure out what's going on. So, but yeah, I think I covered everything. I'm not too sure. At the event, they sitting down watching a movie, Grease and everything, and the film messes up, and here comes Monica with her beautiful dress on, and she talks to Grant, and they have a loving, little thing, and I guess she's gonna marry him. Now Vincent also is thinking about becoming a foster parent, and I think that Vincent is going to adopt Michael, and I hope he does. But something tells me he's going to meet his biological mother soon, very soon. All right, so that's all I have. It seems like every episode is, something happening. It's more complicated this season, The next week, Sunday, it comes on the Hallmark Channel at 9 p.m. And I think this one called episode 3 is going to be called The Delivery. So, and I think those about some flashbacks of Cassie being pregnant and a few other things. So, we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, thank you for listening, guys. And I hope you get a chance to watch this series because it's really good. And I will talk to you later.